to work. A few minutes ago, we reported that some of the first U.S. Tomahawk missiles had been launched on Libya. Now we can give you an idea of exactly how this is going to play out. Phase one of this mission will be to degrade Colonel Gaddafi's air defenses. And by that, I mean most of the first strikes will be concentrated in two places, mostly around Tripoli and Misrata. Those are where most of the first initial airstrikes will be conducted, and those will be conducted specifically to take out his air defenses. Also, some of Colonel Gaddafi's ground forces will be targeted as well, because a senior military official says those ground forces carry with them some of the capability to shoot down planes. Some of his air defense is carried by the ground troops, so they too would become a target.
This so-called revolution in Libya will lead to black people swinging from trees being lynched, will lead to the country becoming 5, 6, 10 emirates, the better for the oil companies to steal their wealth. Libya will break into several countries and they'll start massacring each other on a tribal and ethnic basis.
The official says once that is done, once they open up an environment in which a no-fly zone could be performed, you're going to see the no-fly zone enforced in a limited part of the country. It's only going to be in that northern part of Libya from east to west, primarily to the west of Tripoli and obviously to the east of Benghazi.
I said this to one of the leaders of the Muslim Brotherhood in Jordan. He said, we can't have a jihad in Jordan because it will bring about civil war. So you want a civil war in Syria, but you're not prepared to rise up against your own tyrant because you say the result will be civil war. There's no reason for a revolution to bring about civil war. These dictatorships, rotten as they are, if a united people rise up against them, can defeat them. But if your revolution is pregnant with sectarianism and hatred of minorities, as I believe certain sectors of this Syrian revolution are, how can you expect to unite the people? If the Christians are frightened of you, if the Shiites are frightened of you, if the Alawiyin are frightened of you, if the Kurds are frightened of you, if the Yazidis are frightened of you, if the women are frightened of you, how can you unite the people in a revolution? So correct your line.
These desperate civilians came racing towards the helicopter, throwing their children on board the aircraft. The crew was just trying to pull up as many people as possible. A little baby, a red-headed baby, that ended up in my hands. It was chaotic. It was crazy, but we were able to then lift off with about 20 civilians. The crowd on board the helicopter burst into tears, as did some of the Peshmerga fighters who were on board there trying to help them. Just the relief was palpable. I've been doing this job for more than 10 years. I have never seen a situation as desperate as this, as emotionally charged as this, and I've never seen a rescue effort as ad hoc and as improvised as this.
I hope, very much hope, that the Kofi Annan plan of a negotiated transition to democracy in Syria can work. I believe that it can work. I believe that it will work. I believe that we will have democratic elections in Syria this year. But if I'm wrong, anybody who launches a united, progressive, democratic struggle against the Syrian regime will have my support. But they will never have my support for my country bombing their country like we bombed Iraq, Libya and elsewhere. Wassalamu alaikum. Thank you.